All right. Well, let's get into a story here. This is something that our friend Toby
All right.
from Cutter sent over to you. This is so funny. Just funny that, at least here in this country, anything that is construed as being, what do you want to call it? Everything is racist these days.
Yeah, of course.
Anybody of a minority status, no matter what they do, they're never considered racist.
No, it's just the white guys.
Just the white guys. Well, anyway, a group of Orthodox Jews were removed from a flight for refusing to sit with women. When they didn't want to sit with women.
Can you blame them?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom being so steeped in your ideology that whether you're an Indian or a Muslim or a Jewish or whatever your religious bent is, that you feel like you're being polluted if you have any contact with somebody outside of your own realm.
Right. Yeah.
It just doesn't register with me at all.
Right. And
I just don't get it. It's just like if I sit with an unclean woman, somehow I'm going to be tainted.
Right.
It's a bizarre thought process that you would cause a ruckus over it.
Right.
Like the special rules or special accommodations need to be made for you because of your belief.
Right.
A group of Orthodox Jew men caused bedlam on an EasyJet flight after refusing to sit next to women.
All right.
Staff of the flight from Tel Aviv to London Luton were forced to call police at 30,000 feet when Haredim men started to act up.
Oops.
Now, is this the time to be acting up? I mean, were they not seated prior to the flight taking off?
I would hope so. I can't say I've ever flown standing room only on a plane.
Exactly. So were they seated prior to this plane taking off?
You would think so.
So they didn't have an issue prior to the plane taking off. But
well, maybe they were these new breed that you can't really look at and tell if they're men or
well, but the thing is, apparently they were causing this issue after the plane was already 30,000 feet.
Oh, yeah.
So what were they doing from the time that they were seated to take off to the time that they climbed to 30,000 feet? That's a good half an hour.
Yeah.
So what were they doing during that half hour? Were they not, voicing their objection that they were sitting, God forbid, next to unclean women?
Could be.
All right. One of the group even plugged a phone into the plane's control panel.
All right.
A flight attendant on the trip described the journey as the worst in 11 years of working as a cabin crew.
Wow.
According to the witness on board, the group stood in the aisle and refused to move from their position until crew found them seats that were not next to women. So again, the question I have is, what were they doing? When they sat down, they had to buckle in, they had to taxi, they had to take off, they had to reach 30,000 feet. You mean they had no issue up until that point?
Maybe they were deep in prayer and they didn't notice.
Was that it?
It could be. I don't know.
All right. So once you're already airborne, this is not the time to be having a problem.
Yeah.
According to witnesses on board, the group stood in the aisles and refused to move from their position until the crew found them seats that were not next to women. As well as the aisle incident, others constantly rang the service button. Speaking to the Jewish Chronicle, one passenger said a group of around 10 ultra-Orthodox men caused absolute bedlam on the flight.
Okay.
So all 10 of these guys had to cause an issue in flight.
All right.
At one point, there were about 10 men in black hats blocking the aisles and refusing to sit down. Well, they had to have been seated at some point, right?
Yeah.
It was impossible for the stewards to get to these people to listen to them. When some of the women got up and moved seats to ensure that the plane got to take off. All right, this story is not written well. Because at the first part, they're saying that it was at 30,000 feet that these guys were causing a problem. But then it's saying that these women were changing seats just so the plane could take off.
Okay.
So which one was it?
Yeah, you would think they were sitting.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these men never even thought about saying thank you. Then after the plane took off, one male plugged his phone into the control panel above the stewardess area.
Right.
Officers from Bedfordshire Police were waiting on the tarmac when the police landed in Luton on Monday. A spokesperson for EasyJet said, EasyJet can confirm that flight EZY2084 from Tel Aviv to Luton on the 13th of February 2017 was met by police at the arrival in London. This was due to a small group of passengers behaving disruptively by not complying with the captain and the cabin crew's request to take their seats, both prior to departure from Tel Aviv and during the flight. All right, so they let these guys fly even though they were causing a problem prior to the takeoff?
Right. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So again, if these guys were causing an issue before the plane even took off, I would have booted their ass right away.
Yeah, like they did that fucking crabby lady a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, get out.
Yeah, hit the bricks, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, your husband's mom died? Fuck you. Get off the plane.
Exactly. For the safety of all passengers, EasyJet's crew must ensure that whenever the seatbelt signs are illuminated, all passengers are in their seats with their seatbelts fastened. Yeah. EasyJet cabin crew were trained to assess and evaluate all situations to act quickly and appropriately to ensure that the safety of the flight and other passengers is not compromised at any time.
All right, that's the political speech from the place. But let's be honest. These are people that are working at EasyJet.
Right.
So they're probably not as qualified as like somebody that works at like Delta or United or
American
or something. These are people that work at EasyJet.
Right.
That's like the RTA versus a chartered bus.
Right.
You know, I mean, come on. These are they probably just like, fuck it, I don't care. Yell, scream at each other. I'm getting paid to get to Chicago or wherever they're going.
Exactly. Separately, during the flight, a passenger plugged a mobile device into a USB port on the crew control panel in the forward galley in a foolish attempt to charge it.
What the hell?
This led to the exit light above the panel being illuminated, but did not in any way compromise the safety or security of the aircraft.
Wait a minute. How the fuck do they have a port that's available to anybody that's not in the cabin, in the front of the plane? You know, a pilot.
Yeah, well, it's in like this. It's like in this food service area. It sounds like.
Even that. How do they have anything that's not all the way up front in the pilot's place, whatever that's called, the cockpit? How do they have anything that could affect anything in the back of the plane?
Right.
You know, that should all be controlled from the cockpit, no?
Yeah. Well, you would think so.
Lights, other than flipping the lights on and off.
Sure.
Shit.
In a statement, Bedfordshire Police said, we were called at around 5:55 p.m. on Monday to reports of a group of disruptive men on a flight landing at London Airport. Officers attended and escorted the men off the flight, preventing a breach of the peace. No offenses were found to have been committed.
Oh, so they didn't even get charged?
Apparently not.
Jesus.
But but that's the thing, if you're on a plane and there's other people involved, it's just amazing to me that nobody, these disruptive passengers don't even consider that at all. It's all about me.
Right.
It's all about me. Whatever it is that I want, that's the most important thing. Screw everybody else.
That's right. It's fucking ridiculous. You know what else is ridiculous? All this fucking religion nonsense that everybody's supposed to bow down to all these little different religions. Like the Muslims have their fucking things or whatever. And I was listening to, what was I? It might have been Kumia this week. And are you familiar with the Jewish Shabbos?
Yeah, Shabbos.
Shabbos and a Shabbos Goy. Do you know what a Shabbos Goy is?
I'm not exactly sure, no.
So they have a day, apparently, called the Shabbos.
Yeah, it's on Saturday.
Okay. And on the Shabbos, they're not allowed to do any work.
Yeah, well, if you ever watched the movie Big Lebowski, John Goodman, he's Shomer Shabbos. And they were talking about scheduling their bowling match on Shabbos. Yeah. I don't fucking roll!
Right.
Shomer Shabbos! I don't roll!
Now
I don't touch money. I don't turn on the oven. I don't drive. I don't do this. I don't do that.
But they have what's called a Shabbos Goy.
Okay.
Which is a non-Jewish person that does things for them on that day.
Right.
So but it was being explained on like some of the most ridiculous, stupid shit. Like if they get on an elevator, they have to have the Shabbos Goy to push the button.
Exactly, because they're not supposed to do anything that is construed as work.
That is just the dumbest shit ever.
Well, that goes back to the statement I just made about people and their ideology.
Yeah.
That they're so controlled by their ideology that it overrides just common sense.
Mm-hmm. But the reason this was brought up was because whoever the guy was they were talking to doesn't work on Saturdays, no matter what his company needs or does.
Right.
Because he's Jewish?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's fucking ridiculous. That is just fucking ridiculous. Because you claim that you fucking believe in a ghost, then therefore you don't have to fucking work the same as anybody else? That's fucking stupid. How does that even work?
Well, how about the businesses that have to accommodate Muslims who have to pray 10, 20 times a day, and they got to provide a praying room and all this other shit.
Oh, I know. Fuck that.
They have to stop work and they have to go lay their little mats down and they have to go bow to Mecca and all that bullshit.
Yeah, all that nonsense.
Because of their belief system.
Yeah, because of whatever ghost they're praying to.
Exactly. Fucking
stupid. All of it's stupid. And like the halal meat and all that. Shut up. What does that even mean? Isn't that like what is halal meat? Do you know?
I have no idea.
It's like the meat has, let's look that up. I don't even know what that means. I probably should at this point, but relating to meat is prescribed by Muslim law, halal butchers. That's not a good enough answer. It doesn't tell me anything. I don't know what it means. But even the definition doesn't mean anything.
You know what? Here's the thing. This is my personal philosophy on religion and your, belief system and whatever. You can believe whatever you want to believe and you can worship in any way you want to worship. But when you infringe on others outside of your belief system to accommodate you,
right,
then I have a problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to eat halal meat, whatever that means, go ahead. Have at it. But don't fucking think that I can't fucking buy regular meat at fucking whatever, Burger King or whatever. Fuck you.
Well, it's the same thing as, well, I need a break during the day because at, 10:15 on a Wednesday, a week after the school bell rings, I need to worship at a certain time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, well,
yeah,
that's on you, pal. That's not on me.
Yeah. Yeah. Pick your ghost.
Yeah. Then don't work here.
Yeah, exactly. Work somewhere where they pray to that ghost.
Right.
I'm with you on that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, go ahead and do what you want to do. Go worship where you want to worship. Go pray to whatever God you want to pray. Eat whatever foods you need to eat. But if you're infringing on my time and you expect me to make special accommodations for you, then you're in the wrong place.
And God forbid you say, well, I'm not going to pay you for that time.
Yeah.
God forbid if they need to take 3 breaks and you only authorize 2 in a day, and they need 3 prayer breaks, and you say you're not going to pay for that 3rd break.
Yeah.
They'll be suing your ass.
Of course.
Ugh, fuck that. That's why I'll always have contractors.
Yeah, I'm with Mark Levin. Get out of my country, you creep.
Yeah, you creep.
How did you get in here anyway?
Yeah, creep.